This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle forecast. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies for the upcoming week, break it down day by day, and let you know how to navigate. Now, as I'm filming this, it is Sunday afternoon, and my goodness, it is the gloomiest, darkest, most exhausting day. The rain is just coming down, and it almost feels unexpected. I really didn't think that we would have this amount of rain at this time of year, especially when it feels like it should be snow. Granted, I live in Toronto, Canada, so therefore, I'm used to having snowy winters, but it just feels extremely dark and gloomy today. The kind of weather where you want to hermit yourself, you want to take a nap, you want to rest, and maybe that's the whole purpose, to really take care of your body during this time. Rest if you need it, because we're on the brink of some major change. Now, I do know that we have a new moon in Capricorn happening on the 30th, which is Monday. And I always find that new moons take more energy than full moons because we're trying to muster up the energy to manifest something new. And we're on the brink of some major change because we're about to get into 2025. And I always ask the question, who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? This is really important right now, especially with this new moon in Capricorn. That's what this is all about, figuring out what you want to do next year. And I don't mean planning it to a T. What I mean is the intentions behind it. What are your intentions for 2025? This is a very exciting time. This is the moment where you get to basically redesign or rebrand yourself for 2025. So let's take a look at some overall themes and messages for this reading today. And we have here a blessing in disguise. I'm someone who always talks about this. Good luck is bad luck is good luck. Sometimes we have no idea, okay? Meaning something we thought was so great may turn out to not be so great. And something that we thought was not so good ends up being the best thing ever. How do you know? That's why I always say, how do you know it's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? My advice right now is to be very careful with any predictive programming. The idea of saying, well, it's going to be this way. It's always this way. If that's the case, you're just going to manifest more of whatever way it is. And if you don't like it, then that doesn't bode well, right? So this says blessing in disguise, trust. You might get a revelation. There's some sort of significance or a surprise. And I'm not surprised because I've been talking about expect the unexpected. A lot of truth coming in, some clarity. I still stand by that. I'm really curious to know in the comments what you've been experiencing. Now, as always, I ask, what is your zodiac sign? Please let me know your word of the day, word of the week. How have you been feeling? How was your holiday? Let's take a look at the second message here and see what we need to know. Owl spirit, you see clearly now. See? Revelation, truth, wisdom, knowledge. Well, that is significant. Okay, so let's take another card here. Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. It's always good to be kind to others and show compassion, 100%. Okay? Just make sure that you're not overgiving. That's the key here. We don't want to overgive to any scenarios or situations. But it says choose to be love. Being in the energy of love is the best thing you can do, right? The highest vibration you can be in. So let's take these and put them to the side. And let's take a look at what we may experience throughout the week. Now, I've taken out the Moonology deck because it's a trusted deck for me. It always comes through with great answers. And we're going to break it down day by day. And let's start off with Monday, which is the new moon in Capricorn. Work through your fears. I mean, this is a question I've been asking a lot lately. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of going into 2025? It's important to address those fears, look at the root of them, and move past them, right? We can visit the past, we can't live there. So if you're constantly going backwards into old stories, there's a certain point where it has to stop. Got to work through the fear. Now let's take a look at New Year's Eve. What are your plans for New Year's Eve? Let me know in the comments. When I was younger, I used to go out for New Year's. Now I'm comfortable staying home, having something to eat, taking it easy. Let me know your plans. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Yes, there you go. We're right on the brink. Now, this says full moon in Capricorn. We're at a new moon in Capricorn, but regardless, Capricorn energy and season. Let's take a look at New Year's Day. Oh my goodness, 2025, first day. It's time to release negativity. Look at the Scorpio energy that's coming through. Very interesting. Okay, let's take a look at Thursday. Your commitment is being tested. How badly do you want it? There's so many possibilities right now. They're endless. How badly do you want the new energy in your life? To let go of the old stories, to let go of the pain and the hurt. All right, let's take a look at Friday. Luck is on your side. It sure is. I believe it. Okay, on Saturday, bring love into the situation. Open your heart. I've been talking about this actually. Well, I talk about it all the time, but in the past few readings, I keep saying, open your heart, open your heart, unlock your heart, whatever the term. Your hard work is paying off. Okay, there's that new moon in Capricorn energy here for Sunday. Give yourself some credit, that compassion, that grace. I mean, I said it the other day as well. Congratulate yourself for all the hard work you've done. What was your biggest change in 2024? What happened in 2024 that you can say significantly changed your life? And look at this, sneak peek at the following week. The answers you need are coming. I told you, truth, clarity, it's brewing. It's brewing. You might have an important conversation. Some information may come up. Whatever it is, it's going to be significant. Okay, so let's get into the tarot. I'm going to be using the Wild Unknown. I did just film a YouTube video for my channel all about should a tarot deck be gifted to you and how to choose the right tarot deck for you. And if you'd like to check out that video, it is on my channel currently. This was my first tarot deck. It was not gifted to me. I purchased it myself. I was very, very drawn to it. Love the colors, the pen and ink. So I figured I would use it today. So this is the Wild Unknown by Kim Kranz. Beautiful, beautiful deck. She has a lovely, lovely decks. Okay, so let's go back to Monday. Work through your fears for the new moon. Look at this staircase. You've been through battle. This is the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior energy. One knee down, not down and out. And it's almost like we're ascending here to the light. And there's a new moon right there. This is all about embarking on a new journey, and you got to work through the fears. You got to walk up those steps. Nobody ever said it would be easy, but I can tell you that it's extremely rewarding. I'm so thankful for all of the hard work that I've put in. You know, I think we should all follow the Snoop Dogg video that says, I want to thank me. You know, the one where he's like thanking himself for everything along the way to achieve the success that he achieved. I want you to give yourself a pat on the back. I want you to recognize how far you've come. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort, and it takes time. Nothing happens overnight. Okay, the end of a tough cycle approaches. This is for New Year's Eve. Mother of Wands, Queen of Wands. This is all about confidence, strutting your stuff, believing in yourself. And by the way, a lot of the time snakes get a bad reputation, and I often say this. I love snakes. They are about shedding skin. They're a good omen. And also, the end is the beginning is the end. Okay, so you're ending a cycle, a tough cycle, and you're going to start something new. And what you make of it is all up to you. I know that's a heavy responsibility. That's why your commitment is being tested, but it's what you make of it. If you want to make something difficult for yourself, you're going to make it difficult. If you want to make it easier, there are ways to make it easier, but you have to choose. It's a conscious decision. It's a choice. We wake up every single morning making choices. And I know we can say that we have this complication and that complication and this person and that person in our way, but ultimately we are the ones who make the decision. And that's why boundaries are so important. That's why maybe I'm talking about that in regards to here. It's time to release negativity. You have to be very conscious of the company that you keep, the energy that you consume, who you listen to. Let's see. It's time to release negativity. Well, there you go. There's your 10 of Cups. Beautiful card. It's one thing to ask for happiness, another thing to allow it. It is your choice. You can be happy or not so happy. Okay, your commitment is being tested. Let's take a look at Thursday. The moon. I love these new moons in these cards. This is all about purging and surrendering and letting go. And I don't normally say it with this specific card, but just based on the content, your commitment is being tested. Are you in the old or are you in the new? And I know that I say this all the time. I cringe at myself when I say this all the time, but many of you tell me that the repetition has helped. If you want to be in new energy, you have to choose to be in new energy, even when you're tested. Even when you're tested. Even when it feels so nice sometimes to revert backwards or to get a hit of dopamine. But understand that there's a difference between short-term gain, long-term pain, and short-term pain, long-term gain. Now, all of you tell me all the time, anytime I ask this question, you say, yeah, Kelly, I want short-term pain, long-term gain, of course. So then why choose the short-term gain that pulls you backwards? You have to purge it. You have to surrender it. You have to trust the process. Let go, let God, let the universe take the wheel and work through these tests. Okay. Let's take a look at Friday. Luck is on your side. Stop overanalyzing whether you're lucky or not. This is a card that says possibly overanalyzing to the point of missing out on an opportunity. If you keep overthinking something and allowing yourself to go backwards, you're getting in the way of opportunities that could be the best thing that ever happened to you. How do you know it's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? Okay, bring love into the situation. Now, this is about matters of the heart, soulmates, twin flames, relationships, whatever label you use. Are you being truly open? There's so many people that say to me, yes, Kelly, I'm so open. I'm so open. Yes, if this person miraculously falls from the sky, I'll go on that date. I'll commit. Listen, it doesn't just fall from the sky. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be willing to be open and create that energy for yourself. You're the one manifesting it. Your self-concept has to be there, that you are deserving, you are good enough, you are worthy enough. You can have anything you possibly want, but do you believe it? So bringing love into the situation means you love yourself. That's how you create love with another person. You love yourself. You pour the energy into you. And interesting how I just said pour the energy into you, because the Aquarius symbol is about the water bearer, right? And here we go, pouring the energy into her own healing, into her own heart. See, 5 of Cups. Some of you are grieving an old story, whether that be a situation, a situationship, a disappointment, something that you really wanted. And I'm going to remind you of something again. Rejection is protection. The universe gives you what you need, not what you want. And I know there's so many people who say, why can't I just have it? Why can't I just have what I want? Well, the universe is going to give you what's best for you. And sometimes you may think that person or that situation is so great, but when you actually achieve the better, it's like the bells go off, the lights go off, where you go, ding, 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 ding. Oh my goodness, this is better than I ever expected. I never thought it could be this good. Again, I'm going to ask you, how do you know it's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? So essentially, this is telling you that if you're still grieving an old story, you have to ask yourself, is it helping you? If you're going backwards to an old story, is it helping you? Because you want new things. You've worked so hard, not only in 2024, but in previous years, to do better, to have better. Ask yourself, do you want to give that up or to take steps backwards, for a dopamine hit? You know, I've had a lot of people come to me in the last little while with pulls that take them backwards. And you have to ask yourself, do you want to go back on the hard work that you've done? This is the teacher in me. This is the high school teacher in me, reminding you that you have to continue learning and growing. You're not done yet. Nobody is. I'm not done yet either. Your hard work is paying off. There's the question. Remember I said to you, I don't normally say it with that card, but this one I do. This is the Two of Swords. And this is, are you in the old? Are you in the new? You have a decision to make. Now, interestingly enough, this card came out on top of the new moon in Capricorn. And really, I mean, this kind of reminds me of the new moon. You know, this is the sun and the moon coming together, really. Eclipse energy. So you might have something sort of shocking on this day. That's next Sunday, a week from today. All right, let's get a sneak peek at the following week. Mother of Cups. The answers you need are coming, and you're going to have to trust your intuition. But I'm going to go back to the card that we had earlier, and that was, hold on, let me grab it here. Remember this card that talked about do what is right for everyone involved and offer a helping hand? Yes, you can give, just don't overgive. Lean back, trust your intuition. When that news comes in or that conversation comes in, I want you to listen more than you speak. Again, back to this original card, blessing in disguise. How do you know it's not going to be the best thing that ever happened to you? Okay, let's take some last oracle cards here. Back to Monday. The new moon, see, the Empress, birthing a whole new cycle. Venus, self-worth, self-value, self-respect. Grace, charm, beauty, love, relationship, art, magnetism, abundance, pleasure, happiness, all wonderful things. New Year's Eve, we talked about confidence, the end of a tough cycle. See, stepping stones, you are in the process of arrival. Baby steps. Keep on going. Spiritual growth, step by step. There's a way out. Even when you think it's impossible, there is a way out. You choose your adventure. Remember those old books, Choose Your Own Adventure? You choose your own adventure here. Okay. Okay. Wednesday, we talked about the happiness here, right? The letter, communication, making contact, information. And this is where you're going to be tested. If someone or something comes from your past You have to make a decision. Back to that, are you in the old, are you in the new? There's the bouquet. Happiness, harmony, beauty, creativity, a gift, art, reconciliation, love, openness, expressive, warmth, and gratitude. Look, reconciliation is something that many people want and wait for. But remember, someone's got to come correct. And you have to come correct, ultimately, right? So when we think about it, this is all about being tested, because what did we say right here? Your commitment is being tested. Notice how every time people want to make moves, someone pops in from the past just to test you to see whether or not you're making the right move or not. And it's funny because a lot of the times people think because something comes in that that's the sign. They're the one. I should wait. I should put this off. In reality, it's more the opposite. It's more seeing whether or not you're willing to push through. Are you ready to take the risk? No risk, no reward. If you fall trap to whatever's coming in that isn't coming correct, you're just going to stay in an old cycle. And let me give you a tip that I mentioned. I don't know how many times in the filming that I just did. You'll probably see them in the next days. But if somebody comes in from the past, ask them, what's new? Tell me what you've been doing in X amount of time that you haven't spoken. If they say that nothing new has happened, that's a red flag. Same old. Yeah, just going to work and this, that, whatever. I want to hear about new, exciting things, new energy, new learning opportunities, new travel. Generally, just new things that show that somebody is growing. But again, if it's same old, well, then you'd have to ask yourself whether that's something you want. And maybe to some extent, you might ask yourself the same question about what you've been doing. If I say to you right now, what's new? What's new in your world? Typical Kelly line. I always say this to my friends. What's new? What's new in your world? If someone says to me, again, nah, not much, then maybe that's a sign to change something. So if you find yourself saying, nothing new, not much, then what could you do that is different, even on a small scale, just to show some change or some growth? Okay, let's take a look at Friday. The Hermit. Remember I talked about overanalyzing to the point of missing out on an opportunity? This could be somebody who is hermiting themselves and holding themselves back. Now, opening your heart, and we talked about this 5 of Cups of disappointment, the Hierophant, take the methodical steps to heal. Right? It's funny, it's right above each other or below each other, below and above, whatever. As above, so below. There you go. So this is an energy that says, slowly but surely, you got to get out of the grief. You got to make a move in some capacity. Now, again, this new moon energy, and are you in the old, are you in the new? I understand there's worry about being in the new, of course. But you're prepared. A squirrel prepares. They squirrel away their nuts, right? At a certain point, you've got to act. And that sneak peek at the following week. New beginnings. Twin flames, divine partner, heart chakra activation, catalyst, balancing your masculine and feminine energies. That's what I was talking about. Don't overgive. And you might get some news about a deep soul connection. It doesn't have to necessarily be a twin flame. It can be a soulmate. I mean, there are differences between the two. But essentially, a deep soul connection that may be significant to you, you're going to get some information or some answers. And you know what? It's up to you to decide what you do with that information. Do you pull yourself backwards or allow yourself to be pulled backwards? Or do you go towards the new? And do you realize what a blessing all of this has been? All of these experiences, even the heartbreak, I say it all the time. Everything that I've been through in the last 7 years has been the biggest blessing of my life. You have no idea the gratitude. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I wouldn't have changed my career. I wouldn't have left my marriage. All these things happened in order to take me to another level. It was a blessing in disguise when I had a $100,000 house flood in my home. It was a blessing in disguise when my marriage ended. It was a blessing in disguise when I had to deal with the boundaries in my family. I didn't enjoy it. I can assure you that. But it was a blessing in disguise. And I'm sure that it is for you too. It's all about perspective. So, that being said, this is our last weekly forecast of 2024. And so, let me just see which deck I would like to use for some last messages. Now, if you'd like to do a personal reading with me, the link is in my bio. If you'd like to join me for my Learning Tarot for Self-Development, some videos are already up on my channel. We're going to be getting into the cards very soon. Right now, I'm just answering some tarot questions. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in regards to learning tarot, it's never too late. You can write those in the comments. All right, so last bit of guidance. Wow, can you even make this up? Trust. Trust the process. Best lesson I've ever learned in my entire life. Knowledge. Remember, you're never starting at zero. You're starting with knowledge that you didn't have before. You're wiser. You're better. You're stronger. And you know what? There might be a little bit of chaos that comes through, but that is what's going to shift you, and it's going to be a blessing in disguise. Yeah, that storm is brewing, but it's meant to push you in a whole new direction. The answers you need are coming, and I think it's related to this. I really hope this resonates with you. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I wish you the most amazing, healthy, happy, and abundant 2025.